Hey guys, welcome back to Wise Kracks. Bill Krackomberger here. Jon Orlando looks like he's over at. Are you, John? Are you over at Durango?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Randy, you could be anywhere in the world stealing. Where are you at?
I'm just up here at the suite in Colorado.
Oh, there you go. Sweet. All right. And we have our buddy Robert who does the show, who I yelled at last week. I felt bad. So I'll say publicly apologize. I yelled at Robert because he didn't cut the beginning of the show. He fixed it. But Robert just said something. Here's what I showed this article. It just came out on ESPN. This was, I'll read it to you. U.S. sports betting industry posts record $13.7 billion in revenue. And ESPN wrote the article, which I'm so glad that they write it because Randy said, what's the name, Randy?
ESPN No Bet.
ESPN No Bet. That's because ESPN doesn't take their sports book, even though all their influencers and people that are on ESPN, and that also cancels out our ESPN future. But I don't care. I kind of try to tell it like it is always. I mean, not try. I tell it like it is both ways. Last week I went after Westgate for charging for parking, Caesars for the parking garage being a hazard for anyone walking there, stations for going after for anything. I go up to stations for almost anything really because they don't, losers only, and their billboards say we love our winners. Yeah, okay, we love our winners. So anyway, Robert then says, and I'm sorry if I embarrass him, and Robert, you can cut it if you want. If we don't, Robert says, oh, I just got thrown out of 2 books in Canada, limited at 2 books in Canada. I was like, what? Great. I know. Now listen, I love Robert to death, but Robert's betting a lot of things that I probably wouldn't throw him out for. John too, by the way. But so how do you limit Robert? Now, granted, he does. Robert, you are getting crack win stuff, so I guess you're mixing that stuff in there. And if it's the basketball, it does move a little bit, but there's so much other stuff to overcome that. You never should be limited. Now he said he was limited at Bet Rivers. I just seen Phil Hellmuth wearing a Bet Rivers hat. Now they pay you enough money to wear anything. Listen, I like Phil Hellmuth now. I'm not trying to say that. Before we had him on the show, I thought he was kind of I really didn't care for him, but I like him a lot now. He's actually, now that I know what kind of person he is. But I seen he was sponsored. And listen, if we had Bet Rivers, I would try to work with them and try to tell them what they should do instead of just limiting people, because you're literally limiting people that will lose over time. But just someone on a shift says, oh my God, this guy won $600, he won $800. He bet something that long term, the stockholders, the owners, whether it's private or corporate, they don't want the traders that are making 60, 70, 80,000 a year throwing people out that are going to basically pay their salary in the future. So, and Robert, what was the other company you said, Robert? I never heard of that.
North Star Bets limited me on NBA props.
North Star Bets, and that it could be some of the props I'm sending you, maybe. But North Star is another sports book on props. So, believe it or not, I'm not sticking up for any sports book. I never heard of North Star, but if you're betting props only and you're betting some stuff and you're winning, if you're winning on anything in general, just like last week, I told you guys the win, I was winning, and I actually got my win-loss statement since last week's episode. Last week's episode aired, and I won a little bit more than I thought for 2024. So, listen, I still love the win, but they have these guys in risk that are in the casino risk that maybe they don't even gamble and someone just won and they don't realize the power of, some amazing guys, you guys will understand this. They don't understand the power of, now I don't do it for this, but the power of social media where I've gotten 1 million views just for the win, show the good stuff that's going on, show the good restaurant, show the sports book, how cool it is. And, they don't realize that that's kind of press you can't pay for. You have a billboard up there on the highway, or at the airport or something that just targets maybe anybody. And my socials is targeting the gambling crowd. If you're a gambler, you're only following me because of gambling. That's your target audience, but they don't realize that because, again, college degrees and nice fancy degrees on the wall, but they don't gamble, a lot of them. They don't know the pulse of the business, and not just to win. So all in general, like you can't pay for the kind of advertisement that any of us 3 guys would give them on social media because we're not getting paid for that influence. We're not getting paid to be an influencer. We just talk good and bad about places. Like I said, I talk good and bad about all the places. And anyway, that article came out, and 13.7 billion, a 22% increase year after year. The AGA also reported quarter four was the industry's most lucrative quarter on record, 3.66 billion than the previous. I thought they were having a bad year, complaining about how bad football was for them, in a 13-week stretch. But New York retained its position as the sports betting capital of the United States, generating 2.1 billion with a B in revenue in 2024. Illinois actually surpassed New Jersey to become the second market. I'm shocked by that. I mean, is there places outside of Chicago people are gambling? I guess so. Yeah, I guess they're gambling all over. Illinois is the number two with over $1 billion in actual in revenue. I just am absolutely shocked. Maryland, Massachusetts, 40% growth. This is unbelievable that all these places have this much gambling going on. And, this industry is still going strong as can be, even though credit card debts are at an all-time high. And I don't know. What do you guys think about these numbers? Are you shocked like me or not really? You think it's, it's just part of the ecosystem?
No, I'm definitely shocked. Where is Vegas on that?
Oh, we're fourth.
List?
We're four below Jersey.
Like
Nevada.
that's the shocking part, right? That's the shocking part. And now you see why I think it never happened until now, right? Like Vegas used to try to put a block on other states somehow, bribing people, whatever they did, right? Now you know why, because they knew.
Yeah. No, they and they don't want another Cantor Gaming on their hands where they levied like 35 million in fines on them. They came in and did a lot of things wrong. But even like Fred, was it Betfred? I think it was called Betfred.
Betfred, yeah.
Betfred, they're gone. And there's DraftKings, right where you live, John, over by where you live. There's DraftKings offices over there by Durango, and they are in charge of risk for the entire country. Yet you can't bet in Nevada legally,
right?
With DraftKings or FanDuel or any of those companies, really. Randy, what do you think? Where you are too? So what do you think? Are you surprised at these numbers? I'm surprised. I thought the industry was going a little bit opposite. I thought they were busting out people. I know every college in America has got a gambling problem, but I just didn't know these numbers would come up so high. Randy?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Of course, Betfred was very good to me. I hate to see them leave, but they're very good. Yeah, Nevada needs to step up their game a little bit. We saw the decline when I was out there for the Super Bowl. Not so many people came to town. Casinos complaining with the low room rates. I'm sure you guys probably talked about that some last week, maybe.
Well, you did. You were on the show with us. So 2 weeks ago, we got 403,000 views on a video. 403,000 people seeing you, Randy, on there.
Oh, wow.
Just on my Twitter page alone, looking at that clip, we talked about the city and the city with the room rates. The Westgate, the Superbook, $50 on Saturday night of the Super Bowl. $50.
That's crazy.
To stay at the Westgate.
Yeah.
The Wynn Encore was $895. Let's go to $1,000 with the fees. At the Saturday morning, you could have got for $288 all in at the Encore on the Strip.
That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. Super Bowl night. That's unbelievable. So, but Randy, do you see any decline over there in Colorado where you're at? Do you see decline or not really? People are just gambling away, whether it's sports books, casinos, or do you not? Because I'll tell you right now, I haven't asked John. I can give you the answer, though. We see it in the casinos. I was at Westgate this morning, and I seen there was nobody there. Now, granted, it's February, and no conventions are here, but it is just dead here. How about there, Randy?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Colorado's got people here got, pretty good money, and Denver's real close. So there's always going to be people here. This is more of a weekend town. Casinos fill up here. So I haven't seen much decline in the casinos here. I haven't been down to Cripple Creek for a while and checked that out. Our mutual friend is there today, T-Bone. He's checking it out. So you might see some videos on
he
his.
was in a bad car accident.
How did you know about that, John?
I follow him on Twitter.
Oh, see, Randy showed me, but I didn't. Randy, he put that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He didn't put the video of the car on Twitter, did he?
I think he put photos of him in the hospital, and I want to say a photo of the car.
Listen, since it's out there, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how he survived.
Yeah,
I don't know. Listen,
Very lucky.
He went. First of all, he had no seatbelt on. So, and I hope I'm not giving this away. But this is what he rolled over a bank, like a hill, his car rolled over his Lexus multiple times, landed upside down in a creek or a lake. Randy?
That's correct. He did the triple Lindy into the from back to school into the drink there, and he was upside down. And I didn't know this. If you have OnStar on your vehicle and you don't have this subscription, it still goes off if you have that kind of wreck. So he got lucky with that, and his cell phone, he said, went off, and then about half hour that they came and got him out of there. Of course, he's hypothermic, but he's good.
Wow, he's okay.
Wow,
now?
I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad. Listen, we always the best wishes to him. We don't want nothing ever to happen to him, and of course not. When I seen that call, when I seen the video, I thought no one seen it. I thought it was a private thing. Obviously, not.
He posted it. As a matter of fact, Bill, now you just reminded me, which I don't know which one of you just said it was a Lexus, but I think that was part of his post was he was praising Lexus for keeping him alive, basically the car, because
tough vehicles. Yeah, that's what he was. Afraid.
I mean, the windows were all popped out. They had to get him out of the door. Like I can't believe he didn't drown. Wow.
Yeah.
Go. Oh my God. Anyway, I didn't know we were going to talk about that, but
well, glad he's okay. That's good.
Glad he's okay. So one of my neighbors in the building here, one of the neighbors, they got this offer from John's Casino there at Durango. So I should have brought mine. Darn it. I got an offer to come back in. But yeah, this is the offer he got. $10, $5 a week. So my thing is, who's going to drive? Who's doing the marketing when they give you it costs more than $5 in gas to get from here to Durango.
Bill, I love that you just brought this up because I've been meaning to ask you about this exact thing. I get these types of offers from everybody in town. $15 for this, $10 for that. How are there really people? It must work or they wouldn't do it, right? Like, are there people that really go claim that?
I like to hear that you're only getting that much. That means you're not going off. Thank you, John, for being honest.
Okay.
Because that means you're not going off. You're only giving them like 30, 40,000 a year. I thought you were giving them a lot more. Good for you. Randy, come on, John, Robert, even.
It's crazy.
You're not going to go for $5 to the casino, are you?
Right.
Maybe you are. Maybe this is not. I can't see people doing that. I can't. I mean, what do you think, Randy? Does someone really go to the casino for $5? No way. John's the best example, right? Come on, John just said he doesn't. You're not driving all. Now, if you're there with your wife or your girl anyway, and you're having dinner, or you may do it, but $5.
Or not even for a bet, Bill. I'll even get $10 food credit. Like, that's going to get me to go drive down to the Strip, to the Rio. I get it from Rio all the time. $10 food credit. Your monthly rewards are in. I've been to Rio since World Series of Poker was there.
I'm sorry, I'm off camera for a minute.
That's all right. You're all right.
I wanted to see
if they were smart, some of these casinos, they would maybe offer this $10, and then if you play a certain amount, they give you a lot more.
Right.
That would be a better thing. It would be a better thing to do, but these marketing people are not.
I have never heard that. What a great idea. Someone's going to steal that from you, Randy. The more you play, the more you get. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But so let me tell you my story with Durango. And by the way, I love Durango. I think it's a beautiful casino, clean, open air, windows from floor to ceiling. I love Durango. But I went in the beginning. I hit a couple progressive jackpots. Randy, you know the ones, the progressive video poker banks that are 15 coin, which should be a $3,000 jackpot, which is every $1.25 starts at 1,000. So the 15 coins starts at 3,000. I hit one for 8,200, and then I hit $1 one for like 16,000. But I was up around 15, 16,000 after the first few months. Ran a little lucky there, and they took care of me. A host came over, gave me his card. Really nice host. I think his name was Hank or something. I forget it. Hank the Tank. I think that's what the card said on it. Hello, Hank. I wouldn't even know if I was passing by him in the street, but he was very nice. Gave me a card, gave me a dinner. I went to the Mexican restaurant, $200 comp, no problem. And one time I texted him because he gave me his number, and I asked for a comp. and he gave me more than I used. He gave me a $300 comp, and the bill was only $200. So twice. Well, then I go back in and I lose almost what I won. I think I won $1,000 for the year. I lost back like 12, 13 grand over a couple trips chasing Royals jackpots. And I asked for a comp for $150 at the comp desk, not from the host, at the comp desk, which they have inside High Limit, and they turned me down. This is after I lost. So I won, and they said, yeah, come on in. They want you to keep playing. When you lost, so I never went back. I said, that's it. I'm done with Durango. I'm done. I'm not playing anything there. Haven't went back in 6 months. Well, that same card that my neighbor got, I got one for a lot more. Mine was $400 in free play and $200 in food. I'm just thinking to myself, what idiots they are. They send me it anyway because they think people are going to gamble anyway. So if a casino doesn't treat you right, don't treat them right by patronizing them. That's what I want to say. So that's now they send it back to me. And by the way, Hank emailed me a couple times since then. Well, I think that's his name, Hank. He emailed me a couple times and like, oh, hey, we got this going on. We got this going on. I'm not one that goes in for a free comforter or, a headset or so. I don't do that. So, but now I see this offer. They, not saying they're hurting, but they must be going after players that are dormant for the last 4 or 5 months by sending that out and sending a lot more than I asked for and told them no. So sometimes these casinos really, really dumb, the things they do, some of the decision-making. Now, I went to the host desk and I seen a host. A lot of times the hosts are scared to death to make a decision at these host desks. They want to give you whatever your percentage of Theo is in comp value, and they don't have the street smarts or common sense to know, hey, this guy's a regular, he's a local, he comes back every week. They don't realize that. They just look at what they're looking at. And that's not what, obviously, listen, they probably saved me a lot of money because I'm playing video poker and I'm not supposed to lose long term, but short term, like I told you, I lost like all the money back that I won in a couple trips. So you could do that. One time I lost like $5,000 chasing a $18,000 Royal, which, by the way, that was it was on like 50 cents, so it should have paid $6 grand. It was up to 18, and I did not hit it, but I lost a lot of money playing it. 15 coins at a time, $7.50 a spin. Anyway, do you ever notice that, Randy? Do you stop playing, or is it just me being too tough on casinos? Do you ever stop playing because they didn't offer you something or they didn't do something for you?
If your offers go too low after you've been playing a lot, that's a good way to rejuvenate at a lot of places, because if you sit and wait on them, they're like, hey, let's get them back in. In fact, that last Super Bowl trip, Fountain Blue actually kicked up my offer. So I did go stay with them, and they gave me a decent, thing to come in before the Super Bowl. I stayed there, nice new property and this, but they're hurting. So another property we can talk about that's hurting that needs to get players in there.
John, yourself, do you do any staycations ever, or not really because you got the cats at home? Or, you got the new house.
You hit it on the head. We only will go if we feel the room is nicer than our house. So that means Encore or nothing. Maybe Palazzo. Yeah. Palazzo's pretty nice. I like Palazzo.
Really nice.
Yeah.
It's funny. And amazing that you mentioned that property. So the Palazzo, it's not a big deal, but I went there, originally with, by the way, it involves Randy, this thing. So I went there originally. One of our sour rooter guys called me up and said, hey, this jackpot is up to so much. The 14, Randy, on the blue, was it? But it was really expensive. How much a spin was that?
On the Phoenix game, I think we're spending like $60 a spin there.
I thought it was 135 or something.
Maybe it was 135.
I think it was $100 a spin. It was crazy, man. But it was so crazy that the kid called me up. I went down. I called up Randy. Randy was out of the state. And I said, Randy, we need some partners on this thing because this is going to be really expensive. Randy called another guy. 3 of us went partners. Randy over Zoom, over iPhone. What's that called when you're watching the video?
FaceTime.
Randy over FaceTime. Me, we were alone. I brought 20,000 and I went through 20,000, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went through it, and then our other partner got there, and he changed our luck around, and we hit a jackpot at the end. We still lost $9,000. We lost $9,000.
3,000.
Wow.
Yeah, 3,000 each. And me and the other guy split their time between the cards. But they really didn't send me anything. I thought they were going to send me like a big offer, and they sent me like $200 a week or something. I just thought I was going to get more. I lost 20,000. By the way, I lost like 17,000 under my card. The other guy actually won 8,000 or 9,000 or his card, and yet I got an offer of like $200 a week for like 4 weeks, and literally I don't even go in for it. I don't even go in for this offer. I don't even go in. But
Wait, where is this place?
This is the
Venetian Palazzo.
Yeah, $125 a week, Monday to Friday.
Wow.
Now
Bill,
that sounds like a good thing. $30 in food, $125, but I don't know. I just thought I would get more. Sometimes if you're a local, Randy will tell you this. Out of state, it's much more. What's up, John?
I get great offers still from that casino you and I went to in Arizona that time. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh, Casino del Sol.
Yes, you must get the same because you must get
Arizona.
Right. Why aren't we going back there? I don't understand.
I just got a $500 offer for them to come in for $500 and free room and free air. No,
airfare. Yes,
yeah, free airfare. By the way, I liked it there. They were filming cops outside the casino, but still, it was inside was okay.
Well, let's hit it. Let's go.
Yeah. Randy, you been there?
Yep, I've played there, and
great video poker. Great video poker.
They have a Desert Diamond, which is by the airport too. They're both those companies are pretty good.
Oh wow, okay. I Desert Diamond. I think they have a sports book. I think I knew that, but I didn't know. Is it by the Tucson? What airport's it by?
By their Tucson airport there.
Oh wow!
As you come into town, that casino's by there, and then the Del Sol's south of there, down in the woods.
John and I went there for something. I forget. We went I went 3 times, and I actually wind up popping them for some money, a $20,000 Royal, and I probably won about $12,000 in 3 trips, and that was the end of it. They cut me off the deal. I was getting $1,000 just to go down there. They were giving us $1,000 and paying for our airfare, and they cut me off. And then, just like John said, though, for 6 months or a year, I didn't get anything. All of a sudden, now I'm getting mail again from them. They want me back, come back. So that's interesting how you can regenerate an offer. Let's talk about a couple of things here. So I got to know about this. I don't go into local bars. Anthony Curtis on his great show, Las Vegas Advisor, talked about this jackpot last week. He was in a bar where a guy hit Keno, that's right, $49,000 on a machine on Keno, $49,000. It was a very bad payout. It was 15 coins. So your expected loss on this particular game was like ridiculous. It was like $9 a minute. It was like, that's how bad this Keno was, just hitting this thing over and over again, really bad. This guy won $49,000 at a local bar, and a nice local guy. Everyone was cheering, going around them, cheering and for him and stuff. And what do you think what a triple George the guy was? He takes $5,000 and gives it away to everybody. But I think that's what they were all waiting for. I think he gives $100 bills. One guy got $500 sitting next to him. They didn't even know him. And I thought that was kind of cool. Talking about
how many numbers is that he hits?
I think he hit. I don't play Keno because it's so bad. I think he hit 2 7-boxes, which that means you have that can't be 14 out of 20. They draw 20 balls. I'm probably wrong. All I can tell you, because 14 out of 20 is mathematically almost impossible. It's like can't happen, will not happen. But I think he hit some kind of. He was playing an H, some kind of Keno H, letter H. I think he hit a double H or something. And they're just so bad of games. But the bars, most people don't know. They don't watch shows like ours or watch Twitter and know that they can play video poker for a lower hold or chase progressives. Randy had me going around to some bars, chasing progressives in the bars, which even the grocery stores sometimes, or the bars, you can take a peek at them. They get to be a certain number, a certain level. But I learned something too, by the way, listening to Anthony Listen to their podcast. I'm trying to think of the name of the podcast, but anyway, you might know. Randy, what's the podcast that Anthony Curtis has? Well, I can't think of the name of it right now.
Just a Las Vegas Advisor.
Las Vegas Advisor. So I learned something there, though. So if you go into a bar, I'll use the big one, PT's Pub or something, Randy, they'll feed you, so you get the beers for free and you get free food if you're playing.
Yeah, if they know you're playing pretty big like that, yeah, they'll comp the food. I remember I used to play at there's a Mexican place on Flamingo called Ricardo's. It's on Mexican and Decatur. It used to be right there. They used to have full pay Joker. So I used to play there and get free Mexican food while I was playing.
I love Mexican food. Hey,
So,
is it not the full play Joker that was in that? No, that was in Atlantic City. Double Joker. That was different when we first met.
Now this was Kings or Better, the 4,000
Royal.
version, not the 47. There's 4,700 version of that, which is 101%. This was a 4,000 version, which is 100.6. But it's still fun to go in, and when you're hungry for Mexican food, go in there and play and get some Mexican food, play some Jokers.
Yeah, John's been chasing those Mexican food Jokers at one time or another, just that he didn't know what he was playing. But anyway, no, that's 49,000. The guy gives out $5,000.
That's incredible.
I thought it was pretty cool hearing that kind of story, but I know what happens here in the end. You know, if you're playing this Keno game, Keno in general is bad.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the week of tweets that the K-Man had. Talking about myself like Kramer on Seinfeld. So I put up a lot of tweets this week. Got some ridiculous, got over 1 million views in a week. All right, this is the first one. Drove past this place 1,000. Excuse me. Okay, I didn't know about this Stage Door. I never heard of this place. You ever hear of this place? Stage Door?
Is it a restaurant?
It's next to it's next to. Oh man, what is that there? You know that little Italian place, Batista's. Batista's
sure.
Italian.
Well,
there's a place called Stage Door next to it. Look at the hot dog you get for $2, and you get a beer for $1. $1. I was like, what? And if not, you can get a 6-pack of beers, like 6 bottles for $6. I was like, that sounds. Look at that, 6-pack for $6. 6 bottles. Now listen, you guys know I don't drink, but that sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
But this place has been there for so many years. Now, listen, it may be a dive. I understand, but I thought it was pretty cool. I said, wow, it's a pretty cool local spot.
I used to live a block away from there in the early 2000s. I used to live at the Meridian on Flamingo and Cole.
Oh, I know where that's at.
Oh, wow. Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, I used to stop in there and have a beer once in a while.
I thought it was really cool. All right. Well, listen, next one was John Mahaffey put up a 6-game. Okay. On some 6-game Green Valley Ranch. Oh, this is just stations. Blackjack pays 6 to 5 unless you pay $25 or more. Then it's 3 to 2. I've never seen that. Now this is a local casino. First of all, they're paying 6 to 5 on blackjack. Shame on you. But to see them say, "Oh, we need you to play more," the rest we're only going to pay you 6 to 5. My friend Ralph was in Mesquite at a place called Virgin River. I've never been there. And he texted me and said, "You're not going to believe this. This guy just hit $13 million in front of us, him and his wife." So I put that tweet up. They got 150,000 views. He hit for $13 million on Megabucks.
That's unbelievable.
Thank you, Ralph.
Game changer.
For sending us that.
Now, what does that end up being? Is that a one-time payout, or they take a monthly deal?
20, or you could take a bulk payout. Randy, this is Megabucks. You could take a bulk payout, or you could take it over 20 years, right?
Yes, you can do it that way. I cracked a few 20Ks at the Virgin River back in the day. They used to give me $1,000 a month to play there in the Casablanca. If you put 100,000 coin through, and they had
I've never been there. Do they still do that? Probably not.
I don't even know if the games are still. I haven't been through Mesquite in a while myself. Don't know if the games are still there, but maybe now that I'm going to be coming out that way more often, I might check out Mesquite a little bit more.
Randy, if you hit the 13 million, are you taking a one lump sum, or are you taking it over 20 years?
Yeah, that's something to talk about. I think in the long run, you're better off taking the lump sum.
Lump sum. Yep. That's what I heard.
But it's something to find out advice from. a mutual friend of ours, Alan Kessler. I believe he took the lump sum when he
Oh yeah, Alan.
cracked a
Alan.
million
I've known
five.
Alan for 30 years. He just cracked them for $1 million something. Okay, that's good to know. And anyway, that was a nice thing. $13 million. I couldn't believe it. Let's see the next one. The next one was this person. I don't know who Sean McCormick is, but I follow him after this. So he showed 10 Jack, King, Ace of Heart with a 5 of Heart, and someone held them all instead of going for the Royal.
No.
So, yeah, they didn't know. And, my response was, I would say a lot of gamblers do not realize the proper plays to hold 4 to the Royal Flush. People on Twitter, like myself, are too close to the gambling sun. So I posted that. That got 172,000 views. But the number one was me talking about Caesar's Palace, Caesar's Palace parking garage, going into Caesars and like the broken handle on the door and the parking garage, and literally this is your entrance to Caesars. It's been like this for over a year. Even the button where you go to push the elevators, it has blue carpenter's tape with push on it. I mean, give me a break, Caesars. This is people looking at, you're coming into the property for the first time. Just out of control, man. They there's another one I put up. Lap dances.
You never would have seen that. You never would have seen that in the 80s.
Yeah,
at Caesars. No way.
Listen, it's a disaster over there. It really is. Now, inside the casino is beautiful. High limit, beautiful. By the way, I like a lot of good things about Caesars. I love the steakhouse there, Peter Luger's. I love the place itself, the history, the rotunda, where Sinatra and all the guys were. The Sopranos scene was there with Tony Soprano, and the entranceway is beautiful. Great restaurants, great shows, the Coliseum. I talk good and bad about things. That has to change, though. So you understand, the executives that get paid their big, cushy 6- and 7-figure paydays, they're not using the parking garage. They don't know that that's the way that looks. So maybe they'll know it now. I'm sure it's fixed since I put it up there and that went viral. And my last tweet was about one of my favorite spots, one of my favorite places, the beautiful Superbook at the Westgate. I love it there. One of my places, Super Bowl Sunday, I run in to make a couple quick bets, and I go through the parking garage. I go through the parking area, and they started charging for parking. Local casino charging for parking. I was like, this is crazy. The guy's like, yeah, you have to pay $10.99, and then they'll reimburse you at the card center. I had a funny feeling that was wrong. So I showed him my old parking sticker that the Sportsbook had. The guy was real nasty. He's like, no, that doesn't mean anything. I said, well, what about if I have a credit line? That means nothing. I have the highest level card, nothing. Everyone pays up front. Well, I think after my tweet that got a couple 100,000 views, which also I was called by senior management there, and they told me that I was grossly misinformed, and now the whole staff knows about this. I think things have changed a little bit with the parking rules.
That works.
For you to point that out to them, there's nothing more frustrating as for a gambler to have to pay for parking. I remember one time at the Cosmo, I went off on the valet guy trying to charge me. I go, I got this level card, figure it out. I'm not paying you.
Yeah,
I love it.
No,
figure it out.
I didn't know Randy talks like that. All right.
I love it.
So
Randy's
I
got
know
gangster
I'm
in him.
a little bit of a hothead New Yorker sometimes. I don't mean
Bill,
to be. I take care of everybody, to make up for that.
Bill, I've got an item for us. You mentioned him earlier on the show. You mentioned the name Phil Hellmuth. He made a big announcement yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. He will not be playing in the main event this year because he says it's just too much. It's too hard on the body. I think he said he's 60 years old now, and just
60
to do 12 or 14, whatever straight days that is. I wouldn't know because I don't ever run that deep. Speaking of which, if there's ever a time for you and Randy to get behind and support me in the main event, it's this year, Bill. It's this year. Phil is out. Orlando's in. Let's do this. Bill, did I lose you?
John, but you're approaching 60, John. Yeah.
So
I played a nine main events, so I got a little experience with it too. I've cashed a couple times pretty deep, and it was a good time. But I played 9 years after Moneymaker won it, and there was a nice poker boom there.
Here's what we should do. all the three of us, Bill, you should come out of retirement from poker. We all play in the main event, and we have a last longer bet between the three of us. Who lasts longer? I will smoke both of you this year.
I will
Do
be happy
you
to do
want
it.
the action?
I will be happy to do it in the seniors event, which now we're all over 50 or older. They have one that's 60 and over, I believe, or 70 and over. Don't they?
I'm not quite ready for that yet.
Super seniors. Yeah, Randy can get in that.
Let's do the senior. Let's do the senior event, and we have a last longer bet between the three of us.
Let me tell you something, John. You don't know this because you don't read the comments. So, matter of fact, a couple of wise guys in there.
Is this gonna hurt?
Saying stupid things. I got rid of them. Then I can't watch our show anymore. That's what's going to happen. I'm open to constructive criticism, but I'm not open to meanness of guys that are, saying stuff under the safety of Twitter. I just get rid of them for life. That's all. You watch the show every week. You got nasty things to say. I'm over at every week at Circa Thursday mornings, 8:00. Anyone can come over there and give your comments to me. I'll be happy to deal with you face to. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. I'm saying you got a problem. Let's talk it out if you feel. Most people wouldn't even talk it out. I'll talk it out with you.
Right.
But they don't. No one shows up because they're all scared to death under fake names. So let me just tell you though, John, I'm referring to you. You got two different people. They both want to know some futures on baseball. Not now. He said in the next 3 weeks, come up with some futures.
I have them. Okay.
All right, let me give you. So one of my buddies, which we should have on the show, one of my buddies, Fez, I can't believe what he gave out this morning. Love you, Fez, but I can't get behind this one. And I've talked about it on this show. Fez gave out Dodgers over 103.5. I can't give that out.
He's a smart man, Bill. He's a smart man.
I can't give that out.
He's a smart man.
I will tell you, I do like some of the other ones that he gave me. He gave me White Sox to have the worst record in baseball. I like that. I think I could bet that at FanDuel or DraftKings minus $1.40. Hold on, Dodgers to have the best record in baseball. Now maybe I could do that.
Money in the bank. Yeah,
I could do that maybe.
Okay.
And also conversely, Dodgers longest winning streak over 8.5. White Sox longest losing streak over 8.5. Last year Fez gave me a bet. He's like, hey, Caesars has this. It's will any team have a losing streak over 10.5? That won 4 times. It only had to win once, but 4 different times.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things.
The White Sox, I didn't really pay attention to the White Sox in the offseason. Did they make any moves at all?
I think they're dead. I think they're dead.
Wow.
I think they're dead. But anyway, he gave me that. Let me ask you, Randy, do you do any baseball futures or anything like that?
I like to have like 3, 4, or 5 like RSW plays like that, regular season wins. And then I don't bet baseball the whole year, but I have something like that because I like to take the summer off and enjoy my life nowadays and not have to sweat small edges in baseball every day and look at the games and stuff and look at the computers. So I enjoy my summers. So no more baseball except for RSWs.
Wow. I love regular season wins. By the way, I like regular season wins when throughout the season when they get adjusted. BetMGM does that, and there's a couple sportsbook that do that. Caesars does it, DraftKings does it, FanDuel does it. They adjust throughout the year. Like Fez gave me a good one yesterday, and he's a master of these things, by the way. But he gave me one at I think it was MGM. It was season wins, Toronto over 26.5 season wins at BetMGM. Boy, as soon as I bet it there, I didn't bet it for much. I bet it for I tried to bet it for a couple thousand. They gave me 1,000 and bang, right away they moved to 27. Now I don't mind that though. You give me $1,000 and you move it to 27.5. Good for you. Good for you, BetMGM. But now that I'm saying that and trying to, I don't mean to put them on the map, but just that they actually take bets for me. A lot of people, literally, a lot of people say they take smaller ones on them on those season wins and stuff like that. They took $1,000. I was happy.
MGM takes bets in Nevada, outside of Nevada.
You know, it's funny you say that because I haven't cashed out on the app. I have a large amount of money on their app right now, and I'm going to wait for one of my prop guys to come in because I owe him that money. Really, we have killed him on props throughout the season. But let's talk about our sponsor, heritagesports.eu. Heritagesports.eu. Right now, 20% cash sign-up bonus. And I questioned this because I said, listen, do the customers still get the reduced juice on things? And they said, yes. I had to question that. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not used to seeing cash bonuses. Usually the reduced juice is the cash bonus. So heritagesports.eu, reduced juice, 20% cash bonus. They still have the Bitcoin insurance. They still have an 8% cash back on certain events, racebook events, rebates. I just didn't know. I had to make sure before we came on air to ask about that particular bonus. So heritagesports.eu, our great sponsor, been around 30 years. And I was playing with them 30 years ago, around 96. So, 29 years ago, they were one of the ones I was playing with when I lived in New Jersey. Listen, last thing I want to go over with you guys. So I want to know if I got conned. So I'm sitting at a really nice area here called Boca Park. It's really nice. It's like Charleston and Rampart. It's a really nice shopping center. Beverly Hills Eye thing. That's how the places that are there. It's really nice. But I was outside of a restaurant there. There's that pizza place that makes the thin pizza. I can't think of it.
Chicago?
No, it's no. That's
North.
Oh no, that's good too. North Italia across the street.
Yeah,
is
that
very
place
good.
is real good.
That place is very good. But I was on the other side of the street.
Okay.
And, I was in the parking lot there. There's a Mexican restaurant that's really good. They have great happy hour specials there. But the shopping center is really, really. Matter of fact, I took a picture of the Mexican restaurant. Here it is. I'm giving them a free plug here. Hassan's. I don't know. That's the name of it. Hassan's. But anyway, so I'm sitting out there outside the parking lot. Went for lunch at the Mexican place. And right between the Mexican and that pizza place, this lady comes up. And I knew she was going to ask for money or something. So, but she's dressed pretty nice. But I could just tell she has a shopping cart. She's like, I don't want money. I was like, okay, what's up? I had my windows open, so it wasn't like, but I think she still banged on my door. I didn't see her. She went with the passenger side. I was reading, and she's like, I don't want money. I have my 2 kids, myself. We're looking for somewhere to stay. My husband left me 4 months ago, took all our money out of the bank, and she said, I just want someplace to stay. I don't even want any money. I felt so bad. And she's like, I was like, where's your kids at? Are they in school? Or because they're staying at my neighbors, but they are in school right now, but they're staying at my neighbors. And we're just looking for someplace. Can you help with anything? Like, do you know anybody? Or I said, listen, all I can give is money. That's all I can do. So she said something about a rule, February 1st, that happened here in Nevada. You can't stay outside because she said the kids are staying at her neighbors and she's sleeping in her car. She was talking about, and I really believe this lady. She looked like she was legit, the real deal. And yet my wife says, that's a great con. I don't know. Like, is she that good? Was she that good? I thought about it. I gave her, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty stupid when it comes to giving out money to not just homeless. I'm not really, if someone's a homeless, but see, I know a lot of these guys have PTSD. A lot of these people, there's wars they were in. I know, listen, you guys both know a buddy of mine that was in Vietnam, and, I could picture the things he's seen. He was, I don't know if do I tell you about him, but I just know he was slashed. His body was slashed. He was shot 3 times, stabbed. He got hit with a sickle from a female that came out of the woods, the weeds in Vietnam, and he I'm trying to think of, I guess I could say it, right? I mean, if he didn't have a gun in his boot, he'd be dead. And he was only, at the time, he was helping a little kid. He was taping up his arm, and I think he just gave him a stitch even. And one of the people on the other side there, I think that was called the Viet Congs, came out of the weeds with a sickle and sliced him, and with a sickle. And so, and I feel bad for him.
He's in cloud 9 now because the Eagles, but
yeah, that's him. Yeah, him. He gets $1,100 a month to live on. Guy fought for our country in Vietnam.
That's disgusting.
$1,100 a month.
Crazy.
Yeah, but I wasn't even meaning to talk about him. I don't know how he came on that subject. I just I gave the lady money, and I just said to myself, "Wow, all she wanted was a place to stay and with her kids, and they get out of when they're out of school." And I just there's got to be help out there. Maybe they just don't know. Maybe they just don't know. Maybe my buddy doesn't know. Maybe there is something for Vietnam vets and guys that were affected and have these things. Like maybe there is something for her too, for her to go to. Maybe like my wife said, Bill, you should go, and they're never going to, if you have children, they're going to give you food stamps. They're going to give you some kind of housing. Now, my wife doesn't know that, but she was giving a hypothesis that can that happen. Like you can't let when it comes to little kids, they're going to do anything they can not to have the kids sleep on the street. So I just hope I wasn't conned. Jesus, hope I wasn't conned. But I just, guys, sometimes we're too close to the sun where, all three of us have a few bucks. So we we're living in a gambling town. We're going back and forth for lots of money. And there's a portion out there that's suffering. There's a lot of people out there suffering. And
Bill, you know what? Even if it was a con, she certainly needs help, even if it is if her story's not true, she's in a spot where she's so desperate. She felt like she had to come up with that story. Even if it is just a story, she certainly needs help. So it's good you helped her out either way.
And there was a vet over there. Yeah, that's very well said, John. There's a vet over there. It's an emergency animal clinic that's on that same shop attendant. There's only 2 of them in town that are open 24/7. And that vet is a great vet there. They take all the animals, and no matter what, which I really like, no matter what, even if you don't have any money, they will take you over there. And I really, really, that's something that, listen, humans, they don't take some of these places. When you walk into a place, they won't take a human, but yet they take pets over there. And I thought that was really, really cool that this place, I wanted to give a shout out to them. It's called the Veterinary Emergency Group, and it is on right on Rampart, 800 South Rampart. They take, I'll just tell you why, because I donate to them. So I know they take donations because they let people walk in, even that don't have money, and they'll take care of your pet. So by the way, the other one doesn't. This one does. So that's a great vet over there, a great emergency thing. And I don't even mean to end this show on, dour or sour kind of notes and stuff, but I just wanted to ask you guys what you thought. Once in a while, we do give back. We appreciate it. John, they're waiting for your picks. So come up with some. Oh, by the way,
next week.
Randy texted me the other day, a 160 dog on hockey. Sweden? Was it Sweden?
Yeah, it was a good spot. We had Sweden against the United States after the big win versus Canada in a game that didn't mean anything. So we hit that. Now in this championship game, it's tough to say. I still think the USA has enough momentum where they're gonna win, and they got home ice. So I lean US on this one. So
okay. Well, good. I gave that hockey game to John the other day, and John's like, I'm not betting against USA. I'm betting USA. So sorry.
They bet nothing, John.
Hey, Bill, when we get off the show today, I want you to text our buddy Ian in New York. Yep. And I want you to ask him how many winners I gave him on the UFC last week. I want you to ask him that.
Oh, good. Good deal. John giving it. Good. You have anything for the people this week?
No, I haven't looked at it yet. It's too early.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe follow John's Twitter. Follow Randy's Twitter too. But follow John's Twitter, and to find out for that, we really appreciate all you guys coming on and coming here and watching us. And we'll be back next week on Wise Kracks. Thanks, guys.